Hey everyone, it is your figure break, and today on your break, I'm reviewing the 1/7 scale Saber Lily by Good Smile Company. So sit back, relax, and enjoy your break. Alright, so, Saber Lily. Finally we're opening her up all the way back from my December haul. It was back in January, so 3 months. Or, yeah, 3 months just about. It's a really long time, so it's about time we open her up. As for the box, though, the box is really interesting. It's kind of this shiny, like aqua silver on the box, in terms of the covering on it. And you get to see, you know, pictures of the figure on the outside of the box, and of course on the very front is the whole entire figure itself with the window. The sticker of authenticity is right here on the box, and yeah, what's really interesting too about the box is that the front of it is kind of deviated right here, so it kind of looks like a gem box, if that makes sense. Like the box is like supposed to look like a gem, like a diamond, which is really interesting, I have to admit. I haven't seen a box design with kind of just not a perfect box, as it were. It's, you know, the corners are indented, so either way, let's go ahead and open this up. So the reason why that I got this particular Saber figure is that it very much reminds me of a video game that I play, which is called World of Warcraft. And in that game, I play a class called Paladin. And this figure very speaks to me about that kind of class that I play in that game. And that's the reason why I got it. Now, you'll also see some parts in this recording that where the background kind of changes and like my hair kind of like is flowing in a different way, and that's because I kind of wanted to revisit some parts of the review. I really wanted to make sure that I did a really good review, and I wasn't satisfied for some of the first recordings, so I went back and redid some parts, and here you'll see me trying to fix the logo. For some odd reason, it came in kind of like sort of partially coming off, so I had to go in there and super glue it back down, and it seemed to did the job, so really happy about that. But anyways, back to the review. Alright, so here she is, all assembled, and she looks amazing. I'm surprised that I didn't open this up earlier, to be honest with you. I am really liking what I'm seeing. First thing right off the bat that I see that is absolutely amazing is her dress. There are so many different layers of the dress. There's like 3 different parts. There's this clear part that's right here on the dress, and it's sculpted absolutely amazing. It's kind of like a misty clear kind of plastic. It's very nice. And then there's kind of like this checkered pattern layer, and even that looks amazing. It's a nice gray to white. It's very nice, that's for sure. And then there's this lower part, which is, you know, again, very sculpted. The dress is probably the most prominent thing on this Saber for sure, and it does look absolutely amazing. I really like it. So another thing actually about the dress is that on the white parts of the checkered part, and then the lower part right here on the front, and even most of the white parts, to be honest with you, have just a little bit of pink in them to add some highlight to it. I'm really glad that they didn't just go with the solid white, otherwise it would look very strange and very flat looking. So the fact that they added just a little bit of pink highlight is really nice, because it's really hard to shade white without just going completely black. It would look really ugly if they added in really dark like grays or blacks, so I'm really glad that they were able to do that with the pink. It's really hard to tell at first. In fact, I actually had to look around a little bit, and then I actually saw the pink, but it is there. I hope I'll be able to show some pictures of it, but it looks really nice. I'm glad that they added that in. Now, as for her sword, the sword is very interesting. There's very nice ornate gold on the sword, and by the way, I had to look it up. It's called Caliburn. I think it's how you say it anyways. But either way, the detailing on the gold leafing is absolutely amazing. There's even a little kind of runes and writing that are on the sword, which are very nicely detailed. And even there's a slight from the tip towards the back of the sword. There's kind of like this gold color which kind of sort of fades out. It's really amazing, the paint job on this specific sword. And now she also comes with an alternative sword, which I'm going to switch to her right now. Alright, so here is Saber Lily wielding Excalibur in Avalon, which is what Excalibur goes into. Now, the detailing on this sword is also very nicely done. Like, the writing that's here on the sword is actually engraved in. It's not painted on, it's actually engraved in. So there's both good sculpting and paint on it. And even the gold on both the sword and actually the scabbard itself is a very nice gold, I have to admit. It's not this flat gold, it's very, very shiny. It actually reflects the light fairly nicely, especially with my two big lights that I have now. It reflects quite a lot. The other thing that I want to say is that on the scabbard, this line work on the scabbard is absolutely amazing. It's very crisp, very clear, very consistent. It doesn't look... It's symmetrical throughout the entire thing, just going, if you make a split line throughout the scabbard, it's very symmetrical. I don't see any flaws with the line work on it whatsoever. It's absolutely amazing the amount of detail that is done on the scabbard. Alright, now as for her armor, the armor is very nicely done. Consistently throughout all of my Saber figures, they always get the armor right, it seems. It's a very nice, burnished silver, clean-cut lines, nothing blobby whatsoever. It's very shiny too, just like the gold that's on it. Silver is also very done nicely. The boots, silver on it. Again, also done very nicely. I'm so glad that consistently throughout all of my Saber figures, the silver armor has been very nice. I'm very glad with it. Now, as for her hair, the hair sculpt is done very nicely. The bangs, the ohage, I hope I'm saying that right, and also the ponytail is very nicely sculpted. Very flowing, very consistent lining also on the sculpt. I have to admit it looks very nice, but the paint job is kind of lacking. I don't know what it is about Saber figures, but like some of them, again, they're either hit or miss in terms of their hair highlights. Like on the Grand Order one, the deluxe version, it had nice hair highlights to it. This one doesn't have any highlights to it. It's a very, like, plain blonde color. It looks like they just took one color and just painted the whole hair that color. Kind of wish it had some highlights to it. But sculpt is still very nicely done. Just kind of wish they did a little bit better on the paint job, though, with it. Something else that I want to point out, too, in addition to, like, the lack of hair highlights, is also the skin seems to be lacking in highlights. There's not too many like oranges or anything like that in it, which is kind of surprising because considering that they did a little bit of pink in the dress and nothing really for the skin, it doesn't look very alive looking. It looks very pale. So kind of wish they did a little bit better on the skin tone too. Okay, so as for a rating of the figure, I'm going to be giving it an 8.5. It's a nicely done figure with a dynamic pose and the well-burnished armor and the highlight pink in the dress and the sword. Everything is very well executed. The only two flaws with it is the lack of highlights in the hair and the lack of, you know, skin tone, as it were. Other than that, really nicely done figure. The gold on the scabbard, very nicely done. Gold in the sword, also very nicely done. I really like the little subtle things that they did with this figure. It's very nice how they went into absolute detail in certain parts. So I am really glad that I have this now in my collection. It is a very cool Saber figure, and I would recommend it for any Saber lover. Absolutely a must-have in your collection. Okay, everyone, that concludes my review of the 1/7 scale Saber Lily by Good Smile Company. I really hope you enjoyed the review. I really hope you enjoyed your break too. I will see you in the next video. See you later.